Hello and welcome to the first of 3 battle reports for the Teen Center's Warhammer Fantasy Battle Tournament. We decided to have a 7th edition tournament immediately after 8th edition came out to kind of say goodbye to 7th and welcome in 8th. Grand prize being a new rulebook for the 8th edition. So we had 6 players turn out, myself with Wood Elves, Hattie with his Orcs and Goblins, Chris with his Vampire Counts, Thatcher with his Lizard Men, Max and Skaven, and AT with his dwarves. I believe it's the dwarves and vampire counts pictured here. We split up and played 3 games each randomly, 1,250 points, and ended up on different terrain, different boards depending on the game. So we'll move to the first game. This is my game against Hattie with his Orcs and Goblins. I decided I would take a little bit of a more interesting list. I like to usually play with 2 units of Glade Guard and maybe 1 unit of Glade Riders, but I've been finding that I'm lacking in the charge baiting and flee runaway type thing and be able to rally and move around a lot, and I really like the non-immune to psychology, immune to units like the Glade Riders. So from my left to right, I've got a Alter Kindred standard build, 8 Dryads, no champions or anything, a Great Eagle, well, my first unit of Glade Riders, my unit of 10 Glade Guard, 2 more units of Dryads, one is kind of tucked into the forest, my General who's a Scroll Caddy, Spell Singer, and then on the far side I have my second unit of Glade Riders with a unit of Wild Riders, 6 Wild Riders with Standard Bearer Musician immediately behind them. Here you've got my opponent set up. He's got Squig Hoppers, Bolt Thrower, Chariot, big unit of boys with Battle Standard, big unit of boys with his General, another Chariot with a Goblin character on it, pretty tough, a Bolt Thrower, and then a big unit of Goblins. He likes to take the Squig Hoppers are just pretty mean. They're a lot of fun, and if they get into combat, they're pretty devastating, especially against my guys, so I was really concerned about those. The Chariot's kind of the same thing with their size and all the impact hits, and then those big units. My plan was just to kind of hold back, make him come to me if I could get in there and do some charge baiting and set him up. Wasn't certain how I was going to deal with the Squig Hoppers, but I came up with a plan. So here you can see this is my center of my line. This is my Glade Guard. I think just is a neat picture with the shadows and everything, the light right over my shoulder. So you can see that's my Spell Singer in the background there with the red hair. And here's looking left on my line with the Alter Kindred tucked way far in the background just next to the hill. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I was pretty happy. My guys moved fast enough. I was going to come crush over to this right flank, move up my Glade Riders here, Wild Riders right behind, hopefully split or bait charge, and then come and knock them. As planned, he's moving all his units forward. Oh, he has a unit of Wolf Riders as well. That's the units out front, and a Stone Troll. He likes to take the single Stone Troll to redirect, and it'll stick around with its regeneration and stuff. So anyways, I see him move up forward like this, and I send out my Alter Kindred and shoot my Hail of Doom of arrows and take out the whole unit of Squig Hoppers, which is just great. That's just one kind of crazy thing I don't have to worry about. His turn to retaliate, he shoots and takes out a few of my Glade Riders, but I'm not too concerned about this. Obviously it would have been great if he didn't, or maybe he does this with some magic too. I can't remember if he's got 1 magic user or not. So here's my plan. I move everybody up. I put my Glade Riders right in front of this obstruction. So I get within 8 inches, and he's got to release his Fanatics. You can kind of see him in the background, and I think you'll see a close-up of them momentarily. But he releases them backwards, just sort of to act as a screen back there. He doesn't have a whole lot of other choices. I've taken out a couple of his Wolf Riders, and this is my left flank. I've moved the Dryads up a little bit to try to zip in there and get a flank charge should he come out this way or maybe survive against his chariot. You can see now he's got no more squig hoppers there, and this is just kind of a close-up. I'm going to send my Great Eagle in to take out this War Machine and try to wreak some havoc in the back. I'm horrendously bad with my War Machine taking out. So here's a close-up of my right flank, his left. He's able to shoot at me with his bolt thrower. He's moved his wolf riders up, and I'm thinking, no way is he going to be able to hurt me with some goblins on wolves. And he's squirming his chariot through a little opening here, and it just barely fits. But because of all the maneuvering, he hasn't gone super far, and that's just fine with me. And he's moving his big units up. Here's his screen of fanatics in the back, which I'm happy to have them bouncing around. My hope is, they'll either bounce off the board or hurt him, and definitely a lot closer to hurting me. So this is the start of turn 2. I just thought it was kind of neat to have my eagle right next to the turn marker, and it's really the only reason that picture's in there. You can see he's taken some damage to his goblins. I think one of the fanatics landed right on top, whirled himself out, but did, several wounds. He stuck around with the general's leadership. One rolled doubles and disappeared, and the other one still bouncing around back there, but I don't think it does anything for the rest of the game. So he's brought his troll out here in the middle, which you can't quite see, and I've charged and kind of put my dryads within charge range of his general's unit. In the top here, his wolves are charging into my glade riders, but his general's unit is charging these dryads. Well, luck of luck, he fails his fear test and is stuck still. So in the following turn, I'm able to countercharge, and I send the bulk of my attacks against his battle standard bearers unit. So I think I'm toast. He's just come down my left flank and wiped out my unit of dryads. I just got crushed with 6 or something impact hits and couldn't make any ward saves and stuff. So I'm thinking, oh god. And then his general's unit's coming in here. I then go and lose my glade riders to his wolf riders. And I'm just thinking, you've got to be kidding me. What the heck is going on? Pretty sure this will survive, but then I'm thinking his big units are going to take me out. But he fails his fear test and is stuck there immobile in the middle. I'm able to countercharge, and I send everybody I have into the countercharge. I send my eagle up here, charging into the war machine. I'm notoriously bad, as I was saying earlier, and I think it took me 2 rounds to take these guys out, which eventually did, and was able to get my eagle in behind everything. But with 7th edition rules, I don't get any big bonuses for having in the flank or rear. But you can see what's happened. I've charged everything into the unit, the side of his standard bearers unit, and I go ahead and I take it out. I did not charge my last unit of dryads in, thinking I would keep them around to back up and so on and so forth. I move my wild riders around, but I get his battle standard. I break the whole unit. I go charging into the general's unit, which has already been wounded a bit, and I'm thinking, I've got this locked down. All these charges, spears, my altar kindreds in there. I got a bunch of dryads in the front. This is all set. I'm going to wipe him up, take out his general, take out everything. I've got a battle standard, and I just don't do it. I fluff a whole bunch of attacks. I end up losing combat. He absolutely destroyed my dryads to the front. My glade riders run away. They get caught. At least my altar kindred runs away and does not get caught. He ends up over here, and I'm able to rally him, thankfully. But it's just, it was one of these up and down battles. There's not a whole lot of pictures of the end of the game because of it. And I take my dryads. His goblin chariot character's fleeing here, so I'm happy with that. I charge in to the front with my dryads, the flank with my eagle. I was thinking about it with my wild riders, but didn't want to get into any confusion getting up and down and just putting it right near that fanatic. So I do all this. I don't think I win combat. We either draw or I lose combat or the eagle dies. It was just one of these uncanny, all of a sudden I couldn't win. But we do end up. Great game. I have minor victory to myself, so I got 13 points. out of a possible 20 for this game. And Battle Report 2 coming up.